Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We have a roadmap update exposing some of the Alpha 3.22 patch that's planned for the end of Q4 and its features, but that's not all because there's been an update to Alpha 3.21.1 and, well, I might as well just tell you what's in the PTU patch for that, because it's been released to first wave PTU already, and there is a ton of features there. Star Citizen is getting really busy at the moment with Alpha 3.21.1, 3.22, the PYRO Playground, Day of Vara, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, all in the wake of CitizenCon announcements as well. Lots! I can't even words properly. Anyway, Alpha 3.21.1 is now in the first wave PTU. This adds a load of new features. The Argo SRV, the tractor beam tow ship, and the Crusader C1 Spirit. They've both been added. Ship trespass, new feature. Interiors of player ships are now considered trespass zones for those without permission to enter. If you're in a party with the owner, you will have permission. Those that don't have permission, they get a warning, but they don't get a crime stat. However, they will be considered hostile on the ship, so you're able to deal with them how you want. And if they leave the ship, you actually still have a short window where you can still attack them and even board their ship in response. And even if the hostility timer runs out, you'll still be able to retaliate until you leave the ship. After that, if you try and board again, you'll be considered trespasser. You'll no longer see players that aren't in a group join a ship's comms, so stealthing onto a ship is a thing as well now, and you'll have to go, oh, I found someone, rather than know someone's aboard because of the comms. Data heist missions. Both lawful and unlawful versions have been added. These have you infiltrating locations defended by hostile NPCs to hack terminals. You'll be sent to a location to help recover and steal data from servers at the location. They will need to be accessed via the main terminal via hacking or technician's ID chip, which can be found at the location. This will let you initiate the download. During the download phase, you'll need to defend the servers, which can be destroyed or overheated. Once enough data has been uploaded, you can leave. If you have too many of the servers being destroyed or not enough data getting uploaded, you will fail. You may have to interact with the servers and the terminal during the mission to prevent counter hacks and overheating, stuff like that. FPS AI behavior integration from Squadron 42 is being put in here, so these updates will vastly improve overall difficulty, reaction timers, animations, behaviors, and other traits that make combat with them much more rewarding but dangerous. Not entirely sure how these are going to cope with Star Citizen's sort of server optimization issues at the moment, pre-server meshing and that sort of jazz, but we'll have to wait and see. Vehicle tractor beams. Various ships now have tractor beams, and they can use them. These can lift large objects and tow some ships. Ships that get a tractor beam: the C1, the SRV, Nomad, the Cutlass Black, the 315P, the Caterpillar, and the Hull C at the moment, though this feature is not fully working in the current build and all those ships can use their tractor beams properly. Most of those ships and other ships will have remote-controlled turrets for their tractor beams. Some ships, such as the 315P and the Vulture, will have pilot-controlled tractor beams. That's a good point. The Vulture, and assumedly the Reclaimer, also have tractor beams that will be usable in this patch when they're ready. The Argo SRV, which again is new this patch, can also tow ships, allowing them to grab onto and pull ships that have their shields and engines disabled through space, atmospheres, with gravity, and through quantum travel, although quantum travel towing is not functional at the moment due to a bug. There is a larger new standalone FPS tractor beam tool as well, an update to the balance of all tractor beams and adding different sizes of tractor beam to allow different masses or volumes to be grabbed. You can also have multiple tractor beams affecting a single item and multiple players to manipulate the same object. Remember that small tractor beams aren't going to be able to lift huge 32 SU boxes and things like that with this patch as well, at least that's the plan. They've got the new player experience in and tutorial for New Babbage. This includes new signage and a polish pass on the landing zone. The Siege of Orison event, that's now able to be reactivated. There are loads of updates to Siege of Orison, including little polishes on the locations, AI, behaviors, and balance changes. They've all been worked on since the last run of the event. It will be activated at certain times. Ground radar sensitivity. Different radars can see ground vehicles from different ranges. This includes a full balance pass on ground vehicle missions and adds the ability for ground vehicles using missile operator mode to target lock other ground vehicles. That's actually really cool. Underground facilities and bunkers, and they've had a bit of a polish pass with ledge cover and navigation improvements. The vehicle headlights have had a bit of a refactor, so each ship and vehicle has a consistent intensity and is put into a different size of 1 to 6, which gives it sort of different range and brightness. So size 1 has a 500 meter range, size 6 it's 3,000 meters. I think it's 500 meters per size. The Tumble Nova's seen some movement tweaks, adjusting the minimum maximum track friction and steering stiffness, makes it feel a bit more like a tank. Some features are currently only in a partially working state with the patch though, so they're not ready for feedback. This includes vehicle tractor beams, the Argo SRV, and the Siege of Orison reactivation. There was a ton of bug fixes in this patch too, should really make the current build feel a lot better, but the Storm and the Replication Layer, so the Storm being the light assault tank and the Replication Layer being the thing that they're going to be testing on the preview channel after PYRO. PYRO currently being tested on the preview channel. We're still sort of waiting for the Storm and the Replication Layer. That's what I'm trying to say. But there is more! Alpha 3.22 has been confirmed as being the targeted end of Q4 2023 patch. Typically you get this between sort of like mid and late December, at least in some form. It might be open PTU, hopefully it will be live, and we know some of its planned features now. Player hair update. This adds 20 hairstyles from Squadron 42 to the persistent universe. This includes long hair, tied hair, and updates to existing short hairstyles, all for the player customization section, so you can customize your player with them, and I believe this also adds it to NPC variation as well, which will actually be pretty big in terms of what you see on NPCs, because actually long hair is going to make the game feel a lot different when you see NPCs. Genuinely, trust me. Structural salvage, the ability to transform large chunks of metal salvage from ships into a refinable material. This will use the grinder system aboard salvage ships like the Vulture and Reclaimer. So this is the new type of salvage, allowing you to make a lot more from salvage, and obviously your hand tools can't do this type of salvage, only those specific salvage ships can. Inventory cargo containers. This allows players to store items and smaller cargo containers in larger cargo containers. So you can start to put lots of different items, some of them that you might want to grab out and immediately use in cargo containers, which then snap to the grid of your ship. The Aopoa Santok Yai, the Xi'an medium fighter's being released. We have seen it sneak peeked so many times. It's great that they're releasing it. And the Origin bike series, so the Origin X1, the X1 Velocity Racing version, and the X1 Force Pathfinding version of those hover bikes, they're all finally being released. We don't know if some of that stuff is planned for 3.22.x, so 0.1 or whatever, and there's likely to be a load more features turning up in that patch, and that they'll confirm a little bit later. Something I do want to mention as well, it appears that a mixture of potentially John Crew misspeaking and or me misunderstanding, probably both, at CitizenCon, and when he was talking about ships still coming out by the end of this year, basically he said, well, I thought he meant 12 ships will be coming out by the end of 2023 that had yet to be released, but he was talking about throughout the year, 12 ships plan to be released by the end of 2023, so we're not expecting to get another 12 ships by the end of the year. Sorry about the confusion there. Yeah, so that's quite a lot of stuff, and Cloud Imperium realistically want to get that 3.22 patch out within about 7 weeks, and I think it's possible that we could have persistent hangars and the freight and cargo elevator stuff in that patch, and potentially bounty hunting version 2 as part of that patch cycle. Boom! That's it for your patch and feature updates today. I am really interested to know, are you testing out the PYRO Playground at the moment? What do you think of that? Or are you playing with Alpha 3.21.1? Are you enjoying those updates? What's your experience with them? Are you excited for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo or the Alpha 3.22 patch coming over the next few weeks? I believe I'm expecting the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo to start on the 17th of November. That is not a confirmation, that is just an expectation. But whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What is best in life? To crush your enemies? To see them driven before you? And to hear the lamentations of their women? No, of course not. It's NordVPN. I never saw Conan the Barbarian checking his bank balance and then watching some cool shows on Netflix, all while protecting his privacy and being super secure. To be honest, I can't even remember Conan wearing a shirt. Silly Conan. And now, a big old snake god's got your internet history. Good job. Don't be a Conan the Barbarian. Check out NordVPN. Links below for powerful discounts too. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. Every month we've been giving away a ship for Star Citizen, but for November, to celebrate the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, we are giving away a load of different ships, each to a different person. The Avenger Titan, the Drake Cutter, the C-8X Pisces, the Mustang Alpha, and the Nomad. All great starter ships, but also useful for any fleet. They all come with a game package and lifetime insurance. That's all you need to start playing Star Citizen. That's 5 prizes and 5 chances to win. Just comment on any of my videos made during November to be in for a chance of winning. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and then becoming a channel member. Please consider joining those fabulous people as well. It allows us to make daily content for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, delving into all the news, drama, development info, and gameplay that these games have to offer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.